So, with the topic of comparing that kukri, for example, what I've designed, but some another longer blades like machetes in these tasks, compare to tracker. Today with T3, as I said, because it's so comparable in weight. Have a look around me, just behind me. Sorry. See that? That was what I've been talking about. All these. Sometimes you came into this area, and you have to go through. So now a bit like comparing. It's not. I don't say test, but bit comparing of those two knives. I mean T3 and that kukri of mine, and how these will serve me as a machete. I showed it on my kukri, but now we can compare just few cuts, not really long, because I believe the result is obvious. Let's go for it. So I put a kukri of mine here. Hope you're gonna see this one, D3 tracker. So just small thing. I have to cut or chop if I use the tracker like kind of machete or path maker or something like this one. So I have to chop it or cut it somewhere here and down, because if I go up, so this upsweep, I believe is the word, goes that in that angle that it will slide off the knife. But let's try. I go here. I'm going here. Yes. So I go this one. Now that was the hit. It was somewhere here, and you saw it. So I go for better angle. I don't want to chop here many branches, but so this is it. So if I chop somewhere here, as I said, it's generally fine. This is very sharp. This is very sharp. I like this knife anyway. So this is very sharp. So it chops nicely, but the distance here is max 15 centimeters, so about 6 inches. We're gonna go with this one. See how springy it is. Now, as you might see, I am just behind the hook. So the hook grabs it in this position. So this is the best way to chop these, but these are too springy anyway. I'm too close. See that? See the distance here. Now I'm much further. Even I can go a little bit further, but this is much better for it. I don't want to chop many other things like this one. Let's say this one works, I would say, very good. Because the blade is really, or the edge is very sharp. It's sharper than this one. I worked years and spent hours to get this edge on it. So without this one, it will be not comparable from the very beginning. When this knife will be new one, and this one, this one won't perform like now. But this one, I have to work on it a little bit later, because I spent just, let's say, 40 minutes on this blade to get better edge, which is there, but it's still not as like this one. This is very sharp. So I like this knife anyway. So generally, when I'm on the target, when I'm on target, see the distance where I can chop somewhere here to somewhere here. So just check how far am I from those, from the target. It's too short, too close anyway, the distance, but it's better than to be even more close, right? So that's something. So I have to work in this way, not definitely on this one. So I have to work in this way. So I see this is the max. This is max distance for it. So I'm about 2 inches, which is not that much, towards to the target I'm chopping. But it's important to say, when I got some branches with thorns, and we've got some of them like here, and they are springy like this one, they are not forgiving. I say, is it correct? They are not forgiving. What I want to say, when you chop and you don't do that correctly, you don't chop it off, it will spring and goes back, usually to your hand with the thorns, and you don't like it. Definitely, even with light gloves, it probably penetrates those, so you don't want to do that. And those are here somewhere, not exactly on this spot, but let's say a few let's say, or not a few meters, about 10-15 meters over there, there is one bush of those. And if you go through, you definitely find some of those here. And they are, they got the lians, probably, yes, long, and even you don't see them because they are, in another bush which looks for you like safe for cutting, and then you chop and oh god, you got it. So the better distance from the target, the better. So that's one thing. And another thing, but I know all of you know these. It is just comparable in my vision, how I compare these, the tracker compared to, let's say, this Kukri or any longer chopper. But now for this one, so I guess this is better for it. I guess I'm pretty sure this is better for it, but it could be different in some other ways, which it will be. So this is some compromise. I don't know. Yeah, in English. What I want to say also, what I said, if something springs to you back, so you chop it down, and you see that it's springing back, you can hold it. I show it, and I said it with a Tops 170 machete, what I do like. Or even when you go through bush, you got something in front of you, you don't want to chop it down because whatever reason, say, okay, why I don't need it, I want to do it. So you just grab it and you just pull it aside and go. You lock it with your leg, your foot, and you simply pass the point. So that's what I normally do if I don't want to go and chop everything in my path. So grab it, something like this. Or as I said, when you chop something, it springs back, you close it. What's good on this one, obviously, it goes back and you grab it here. You got a guard here, and you got this the blade, the curvature, the recurve. So you actually grab it, the thing, usually the branch, you grab it somewhere here, and you can lock it, even thanks to the angle, you can lock it and put it on the side. That's something you probably can't do this one. You can grab it with the hook, but it's not that big, which is good in something else. So you can grab it here and you put it on the side, but this is really a little guard, and the distance you are safe to grab it is too short. So what I want to say, it springs, sometimes you got just a little bit wrong angle and it slides to your finger. Even if that will be only these, this is dry, these around, which have no thorns on them, it's still painful because it's hardwood and it springs with power. So you don't want to be hit a couple of times into your knuckles because it's not nice, of course. That one thing, that's what I want to say. That's something else. But I feel this one good in some another things which we do in this test anyway. Something else, a little point. If the tracker will be longer, and some of those I don't agree with that, but some of those got hollow grind even here on the, I say, chopping blade. I have to check about ticks. If there will be hollow grind here, it will work, of course, better for these clearing parts because it bites in more, so it can goes better, of course, than this grinding for chopping splitting, so that's something else. Or depend of how the blade is thick. Important for comparing these two knives I would here is these are 5 mm thick both, so these are similar weight, similar thickness, so same thickness, the same thickness. So that's something else why I do this. Last thing, there is rogue knives. The rogue knives. So I'm sending greetings to you. I'm looking for your tracker anyway. So he's making CPM 3V trackers now. I'm not sure if they got prolonged this part or this part. I believe this one, but in 5 mm thickness, not like the normally. Let's say they are 1/4 of inch or 6 mm thick, so thinner, better for chopping, better for these, and it's slightly longer. It's longer than this one, so it might be similar weight, but longer means better for these. What I want to say, and last thing, some of those trackers, as my bark river, for example, got prolonged this part, which I do like some, but it makes the knife longer and these things. If this is prolonged, let's say 1 inch here, and then it goes forward, then it also helps because it takes the sweet spot a little bit further from you, so you got 1 inch for that. So it will be maybe very similar performance like this one, because the real edge will close to this one, only that will be heavier. And now we are going further. So if I take bark river tracker, which is in same blade length, so it might serve very close, and this one maybe even better, I don't know, but it's much heavier, much heavier. So that's why I don't care. I don't compare those. But if that will be in similar thickness, 5 mm thickness, in the same profile, blade profile, and these things, it might work for these tasks very close to this one, or something like this one, and that it changes situation. So if tracker for path clearing, the thinner and longer is better. Carry on.